I'm Eric Hanberg.
And I'm Mary Holste.
We are partners in Side by Side Creative, which is a small marketing firm that we run.
We're also married.
Yes, that too.
And we have a small daughter.
She's 14 months. We've had two cars for a long time, and they were both good cars, but we wanted to save some money.
And we had really wanted to go down to one car.
Yeah.
And the more we talked about it, the more this plan sounded right for us.
The only thing that was really hard about it was we were going to go down to one car, but the one car could only go 100 miles.
The first month with the Leaf was definitely a learning curve for us because we had to get used to thinking of destinations in terms of instead of how long it would take us to get there.
We work from home.
Yeah.
So
we don't have a commute, which is awesome.
I have to go to Metro Parks as a Metro Parks commissioner, but that's probably 6 or 7 times a month. So that's really doable. Mm-hmm. We're in a unique place where we live in an urban area. We have an Enterprise rent-a-car literally across the street. We have a Zipcar station literally across the street.
And all the services.
And all the services that we walk to are right there. Yeah. So it really made sense for us to go down to one car and have it be an electric car. Having an electric car has taken a lot more planning, especially when it's your only car. Every morning we have to figure out who's doing what and who's going to take Hannah here and who's going to get there.
Which we would have to do with one car anyway.
One car anyway. But having that 100-mile limit on a day like when we're trying to get to the airport and back makes things just a little more challenging. When I go to Metro Parks or when we take a long drive, we will look ahead to see if we can find out if there's going to be a charging station. Mm-hmm. And I have an app on my phone that will guide me to them. And it's kind of like a prepaid debit where I have money on the card and it reloads if I get too low. But I get out the app and when I get to the station and I tell it I'm here and it unlocks the little charging gun thing. And then I plug it in. It usually costs $3 for a charge, $2 or $3 depending on which station we happen to be at. And that's it. You know, we went to Fred Meyer and Ballard and we were there for 3 hours while we walked around Ballard, and
I think we got 40 miles.
40 miles or something like that.
Which is almost half a tank.
Right. So then we went to U Village, do a little bit of shopping there, get home, plug it in, and then even do a little bit more driving that night to go out to dinner. I mean, it was... Yeah. I did the math, and we did more than 100 miles that day, and it was probably $4 in charging. The way it seems to be right now, we've put about 2,300 miles on the car, and in our cars, we figure that would have been $400 or $500 in gas, and that's something that we don't have to pay, which is great. There's certainly charges for charging stations and for our electricity, but those over the last 2 months have added up to $30 I mean, it's been a really great savings. I will say it's actually a really fun car to drive. Yeah. There are no gears, and you don't think about that when you think about getting an electric car, but that means, 0 to 60, like, it can be fast if you want it to be. Maybe it costs you 10 miles to do it, but it's really fun to drive, and I did not expect that at all. Yeah. It's been very doable, and I'm sure a lot of people could switch out for an electric car for one of their two vehicles and have no problem with the change whatsoever and see their gas bill go down at the same time.
You feel the benefits right away.
My hope would be that if more people who can do it, we'll see more stations and more parking lots will start to have stations in them. And then it might make a little bit more sense for a little bit more people, and then it makes sense for a little bit more people. There's a weird network effect that could actually happen there where suddenly it'll make sense for a lot of people.